Well, I guess I'm live. I thought I would give this a shot. I'm sure nobody will chime in, however, gives me an opportunity to chat and kind of express what's on my mind as I'm sitting here tonight. There's my loyal Akita right there. Hey, Koji. He follows me everywhere I go. 124 pounds of joy. He just follows me everywhere. Anyhow, I just wanted to share that I am quite excited that Kamala Harris is going to be the new president, and that she is currently the Democratic nominee for presidency. And as the vice president of the United States, I don't believe she got enough credit for what was done. The one thing that disappointed me this past political season, the last 4 years, is Democrats did not stand up and take charge of themselves and do any type of rebuttal of what the Republicans have stated at the last 4 years, which has been extremely inaccurate. I think these past, pardon me, 3.5, almost 4 years has been clouded by the mouth of Don Too Old Trump, who has done nothing but spend the last 3.5 years whining and crying because he believes he was cheated. You know, this man has really shown who he is. He's a bully, he's a baby, and it's all about him. I mean, listen to him as he talks out on the trail at his so-called, what do you want to call it, gatherings. He does not talk anything about policy. He does not talk anything about what his plans are, except he's going to be a dictator. He has no diplomacy. He has nothing but whine, cry, and just downgrade and disintegrate and denigrate anybody that he feels he wants to do, because he's waiting for accolades from the crowd. You know, knowing the history, I love history, and knowing the history in this country of what has happened since the mid 1700s with black population, and it still goes on today. I lived in the South in Tennessee for 3 years, just in the in the most recent past. I lived in Tennessee for 3 years, and I'll tell you what I learned living in Tennessee. If you ain't white and you ain't Christian and you ain't a good old boy from there, you're an outsider. You just are. Kevin and I living there, being gay senior men, people were friendly and nice to us until they discovered we were gay, and then no, they wanted nothing to do with us. We couldn't even get help on the ranch. Even after Kevin's stroke, I couldn't get help, and it was an absolute indication because we were gay. There's no doubt in my mind on why we couldn't get help. People would come to be farriers for our horses. They'd come the first time when they figured out that Kevin and I were not brothers, that we were gay, because we didn't hide it. Couldn't get them back. We went through 6 farriers in 1 year trying to get someone to come out there and work with us on horses. That's just one of many stories living there in Tennessee. But back to my original comment in regards to the history of Black America. What has happened in this country since the mid 1700s is deplorable. Deplorable. And when I see Donald Trump at one of his rants, I ain't even going to call it a rally, a rant, because that's what he does. He rants. When I see him briefly, because I don't watch news, but I'll look on YouTube and quickly take a peek at what happens. When I see him at his rants and I see black people supporting him, I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? This man is a racist. This man will lie to his dead mother to get a vote. This man buried his ex-wife in the back acre of a golf course in New Jersey. He didn't even give her a proper burial. He put her in a plot out in his golf course somewhere in New Jersey. No headstone. She still lays there vacant by herself. Just one of many things. So I just get really disturbed when I see Donald Trump at one of his rants, and there's black people supporting him. I don't get it. And I wish someone could explain that to me because I do not get it. Also, with Donald Trump, when I see women supporting him, I gasp. I'm like, any woman who supports a man who has been criminally, people, you can puff it, fluff it, deny it any way you want in your cult-minded head for those who follow this lunatic. Any woman who follows a man, regardless of a politician, a so-called millionaire, I'll call him a land whore, a housing whore. He's exploited so many people in New York and took money from them for years. But anyhow, any woman who follows him, and I see what he talks about, and they follow him knowing that he criminally has been charged, criminally, in a criminal court as a felon rapist. The only reason he didn't go to jail is because of longevity of how long ago it happened. But they were able to criminally charge him and fine him $85 million for the way he attacked and assaulted Carol, Jean Carroll. There was 26 women who came forward to state the same thing, that he had sexually assaulted them over the years. There's not just Stormy Daniel, and everyone's like, well, she was a porn star. Doesn't make any difference who she was. The reality of it was Donald Trump assaulted her without her approval. He put his hands on her and on E.G. Carroll without their approval. And he even said it on a bus with Billy Bush, and stated, and it's on videotape and recording of him saying, and you can grab him by the pussy anytime you want. You know why? Because you're famous. And when you're famous, you can just grab him. And women are like, oh, Donald. I don't get it. I just don't get it. He needs to be held accountable for what he did and what he's done. So that's just part of what goes on with me. I'm just appalled that people would even follow him. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Tell me what his policies are. I'm going to close the border. Look, this man said he was going to build a wall. And he got voted in and he became president to build that wall and get them illegals out of here. Now, he didn't reverse DACA. He didn't. People are like, DACA, what's that? I'm a mega. Go do your history. He didn't reverse DACA. He didn't build the wall. And people are like, well, yeah, because he couldn't. Well, let me ask you this question. If he had the Senate for 2 years of his presidency, because of a Republican Senate, and he had Congress 2 years of his presidency because it was Republican, and he appointed everyone he appointed into the Department of Justice, and he was the president, why didn't it happen the first 2 years? He promised us the best health care we were ever going to see. Phenomenal. You're going to tell me, Donald, stop. We don't want better health care. Did that happen? No. But I'll tell you what did happen. Ivanka went to China, and she got over 16 deals with patents in China for product. Her husband, Jared Kushner, went to Saudi Arabia and came back with $2 billion. I'd like to find the little gold pond he went fishing in. Son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Now, we just recently discovered again the Department of Justice hid, because of Bill Barr, hid the fact that Donald got $9.98 million from the president of Egypt while he was in office. It was funneled, so it was hard to trace, but he received it. So, this man is a mastermind criminal. He's doing nothing different than what Hitler did in 1933. He's playing the book that Hitler played, and if anyone follows him, shame on you. You're not a Christian. And those of you who claim to be Christian, that's a whole other story. Christians, I believe, are the most judgmental, two-faced, inconsistent people that I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And I claimed to be Christian for about 50 years of my life. Oh, yeah, I went to church. Oh, yeah, I joined many different churches. Oh, yeah, I studied Jehovah Witness and Mormon, and I did Scientology. I did religious science. I did Methodist. I even tried Catholic. I tried them all. And here I am at 67. And you know what? It's a fable, an absolute fable when it comes to religion. Now, I'm not saying I don't have a belief in the higher power. I'm not saying I don't have a belief in a creator of some sort, but I do not believe anything the church does. Nothing. And I don't believe anything that they stand for. And people who say, I'm Christian, I just want to I just want to laugh in their face. What's that mean? Does that mean you follow the 10 commandments of the 613 10 commandments? There are 613 commandments there are, but you pick and chose only 10 because the Catholic Church says these are the commandments that you should live by. But there are actually 613 commandments. And they range from Christianity to Judaism to Buddhist to Hindu. They're out there. But the Christians are the ones who own everything. They're the righteous ones. So I could go on and on about Christianity as well. But anyhow, I just popped online tonight because I was thinking about Donald Trump again, and I will be so glad. I will scream hallelujah when that man is gone from our daily talk, when he is gone from wanting to be in politics ever again, when he is gone from the cameras wanting to turn on him to show the world what a vile, nasty, horrible human being he is. I will be so grateful that when that day comes, that we don't have to listen to him anymore. His orange makeup, his little hairdo, his fat, shitty pants, the whole thing, when he's gone, I will be grateful. With that being said, I bid you a wonderful, pleasant evening. Thanks for watching, whoever you are out there. Bye-bye.